Skeeter Jean versus Chris Hansen, and who is in the right? Now I watched a video of Insider Edition, and I watched the video where Skeeter Hansen, aka Skeeter Jean, is reacting to Inside Edition. I found the video very funny, very interesting watching because I'm going to be honest, I agree with a lot of what Skeeter was saying as far as Chris Hansen being a hypocrite. There was a lot of things that Chris Hansen said, even as far as, um, it's very amateur at best, and you don't really call the police, you don't really get them involved and stuff like that. And come to find out, the first season of To Catch a P, a Predator, whatever, they didn't call the cops. They didn't even actually have the cops. And they did one thing where they caught this guy. He came in there naked. And, they did the whole, if you have nothing else to say, you're free to leave, yada, yada, yada. He leaves. And then he does it a couple hours afterwards. And still, they didn't call the cops. So I don't understand how he's coming at Skeeter, and they're talking about you don't call the cops and stuff like that. Now, the thing about Inside Edition and what they highlighted is something that Skeeter likes to use a lot of word manipulation. When people sit there and ask him, hey, can I get out of here? Yada, 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 I want to leave. He doesn't sit there and say no. He just says, I'd like to ask you a couple more questions. So in this roundabout way, it's that they're saying he's not telling you that you can't leave, but he's not telling you that you can. That you can't leave. He's not telling you that you can. So it's like it's left open into their interpretation. And so when he says things like, and this is something that I can't remember her name when she was interviewing Skeeter, was Smith there saying, I work with their predatory investigation unit. And she pretty much was like, but you're not law enforcement. And she pretty much got him to admit that you're lying as far as you working with law enforcement, or you have the cops on standby. That's what it was. You have the cops on standby. It was like, in reality, you don't, so you're lying. He was like, yeah. And I found that very interesting. But it was one of those things where it was like, when he said that, I know that he instantly regretted it. He instantly regretted it. But as far as the whole, who's more on the right or is Skeeter Hansen, is Chris Hansen a hypocrite? In a lot of ways, he is. It's not they're saying that these people do it for money and clout and stuff like that. People only know Chris Hansen because of Dateline TV. And if you want to sit there and talk about money and stuff like that, he's working with another group. I forgot what it's called, but pretty much to sit there and see his stuff, you have to pay X amount of money. So if you're going to sit there and talk about how somebody's doing this for clout and money, you really need to sit there and check your own self before you comes at anybody else saying those things. And don't get me wrong, I like Chris Hansen. Okay, I used to love that show. But it's one of those things where it's like you can't sit there and talk dirt about one person and your backyard isn't really that clean. Your backyard is pretty much just as dirty as theirs. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of groups that I'm not a fan of. Skeeter Jean is actually one of those people that I actually do like. As far as, him catching people and stuff like that. I do like him. I do like the way that he does his catches and stuff like that. Is there a couple of plot holes, a couple of things that he does that's, like probably, I'm with the predatory investigation unit, basically kind of tricking these people into thinking that he is part of law enforcement? Yeah, and that's not cool. But what I will say, one of the reasons why I actually do like Skeeter, there's a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons why I do like Skeeter Jean is because when he does these catches, these things and stuff like that, he invites these people into a secluded space. Okay? These Airbnbs, which he pays out of pocket for each time he does these catches. As opposed to some of these groups, like Protect the Innocent, that will go in these stores, start yelling and screaming and things of that nature. And granted, yeah, he used to do that, which made him just as bad as a lot of these other catchers. But I do like the fact that he switched it up because for the people that don't know about Dap or what happened with Dap, one of the guys got shot when they were trying to confront him. Now, can you imagine if this was daytime? He missed him. He hit somebody else. You know, things could have went sideways very fast. So what they started doing, I think, I don't really remember, or at least they used to do that at one point. They started trying to do it in secluded areas. I don't know how they do their catches now, but they started trying to do it in secluded areas like Skeeter Jean. So I give him a lot of props for that. I give him a lot of props for what he's doing. And ultimately, I think he's in the right. It's kind of a shame because I know he wanted to work with Chris Hansen, and I felt like they could have did a lot of good together. And I don't understand how Chris Hansen won't work with or talks crap about Skeeter Jean. Yeah, he works with CC Unit. And I'm not sitting there saying CC Unit is bad or anything like that, but if you're going to sit there and talk about online vigilantes, then, CC Unit is actually a part of that online vigilante stuff. Um, I think I remember him doing a interview with Pop Squad years ago, which is another online video vigilante, as they so called put it. Yet he had no problem sitting there showcasing him and talking about him and doing work with CC Unit and stuff. So what's the difference with Skeeter? I mean, is he really that upset about the whole Skeeter Hansen thing? He should find that to be more of a compliment than anything else. So I don't understand what that whole thing is about. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think that Chris Hansen is in the right? Do you think that he's in the wrong? Why? Why not? Let me know. And I will see you in the next video.